We are back with the Dirty Laundry Game Worn Hockey Podcast, Christmas edition, episode number 34. I got the fancy little jacket. It's hard to read in the video, but it says "Merry Christmas, you filthy animals." So it kind of fits here. Actually, does flash and light up, but it's a little too bright in here. And then you have Mrs. Claus, Wade in the video, and then Dan. Dan grew out that beard a little bit more. You'd look like Santa.
Yeah, that's what I look like. Feel like it too, man.
It's a fun few days before Christmas episode. Paul Rank is been jumping between Barracuda and Sharks games the last 3 days. He had another game tonight, so that's why he's not here. So just us gents covering some things, and some different stuff popped up today online in the last few days I kind of want to touch on. Get into Boston one, the Boston jerseys, their program has really started kicking off. People have started getting more of those. Matt Moffat, he's actually primarily a Blues collector, but picked up Shattenkirk's Boston Bruins, the 100th anniversary one, or 100th anniversary, it's whatever the heck.
It's the 100th, yeah. Centennial jersey.
Thank you.
No problem.
Has gold around the numbers. Their shipping
Beautiful.
box. Oh, I mean, their shipping is great because not just the box says Boston Bruins authentic. The fancy paper that's wrapped around it also has that logo on it. Yeah. Very well packed from his pictures. Has a nice set stamp inside. Just really looks good. The one thing that threw him off initially when he made the comment today, and I commented back to him, is he said it's missing the certificate. Boston said they weren't doing it. They're doing the online only with OPSEC. And I know, Wade, I know you know a lot about them with Major League Baseball doing stuff there. And I think, is Boston the first NHL team using OPSEC for anything? I don't
believe they are.
Their name anywhere else.
Anybody else doing it. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, it's neat that I think it's a good continuation. I mean, I think the certificates get to be very difficult to, and I've discovered this in my trades and buying and selling over the years, is the certificates get pretty hard to keep track of sometimes.
Yeah, they get lost over time. And we've talked about this, I can't tell you how many shows now, is this stuff is great. But if it ever goes away, if that company folds or we have other companies do it, all that information is gone. So as a suggestion, and in like the case, oh my God, you're bald, Wade.
Oh my God, no.
So like in the case of the Boston one, you enter the code in, and I'll read exactly what Matt got off the computer when it pulled it up. It says game used Centennial jersey worn by Kevin Shattenkirk. Kevin Shattenkirk played 7 games in this jersey and recorded 2 assists. It lists out all the dates. Then below that it says 23-24 season game used Centennial Way jersey set 1. Kevin Shattenkirk, 2 assists. And then also, and I really like this, and I hope this continues, first point as a Bruin, 10-24-23 at Chicago. Yeah. That's cool. If the players hit special marks, I think that's awesome that they're going to put that in there. The Blues, as Wade and I both are pretty good experts in, they have the barcode in the neck, and it gives you just the game dates, which is I'm okay with that. It's good reference because we've seen the Blues do some weird stuff where they've swapped jersey colors or different things. So at least have a quicker reference to go to. But again, it's on a sheet of paper. It's not. Actually, I guess I haven't run the serial numbers to see if that shows online.
I haven't ever checked it online because they give you the paper.
I guess we need to look at
one
that.
Thing, yeah, we do. Like on a Blues jersey note, though, the set 1 home did recently get sold. And again, for the second year in a row, it has the barcode in it, but they did not put a Libby set tag in set 1 jerseys. I'm not sure why, if it's a cost-saving thing. I've never really gotten a good answer on that, but this is the second year in a row that they had the barcode, but no Libby Blues set tag.
And
just
we'll have to see what happens with set 2.
Because last year set 2 had them.
No sense.
Yeah, last year set 2 had them, so I'm going to be interested to see what they do again. It just kind of an interesting side note.
Yeah, and Dan, have you, with any of the teams you're buying stuff from, have you seen any changes in set stamps or COA stuff or things like that? Have you picked up anything newer lately?
The only one that I have that has the barcode or where you had to go online was the Stadium Series from last year, when they sold them and the NHL sold them. And so I went on to Fanatics and put the code in, and it came up like a certificate like thing, like not a big one. And then I just printed it off. But it wasn't anything fancy. It was just saying, "Yep, this is his jersey from that game." Wasn't like as nice as what you read.
Yeah.
So,
And I saw recently saw one. I think I talked about it on one of the episodes. Is a guy had one of the Blues Winter Classic ones, and the little Fanatic sticker I ran was the complete wrong jersey, but the set stamp that was sewn in had the right number on it. So
yeah, I
that
worry about the
is
stickers coming off.
right.
That's the problem I have with the sticker. They put those hologram stickers on there, and
They
over
never
time they're gonna fall off over time. And I'm a set
yeah,
stamp guy. That's
yeah.
me. I want the set stamp in there. I want the tag in there, serialized, because that's harder to lose than a LOA or a sticker or something. But that's my
A
personal
lot of
opinion.
the stickers on the Blues ones, because they double sticker them, they sticker the jersey and the letter. I'll be honest, in a lot of cases, once those stickers start coming loose, I usually just take the sticker off and affix the second sticker to the letter, because I found them laying around my house. I've like moved jerseys, and all of a sudden there's a Blues sticker laying there. So
Yeah.
there's no real place that they actually stick and stay. I mean, it never
No,
really
they're
deposits.
gonna fall off.
Yeah,
The stickers fall off. They get old and they fall off. And you're putting them on material. So
absolutely.
I
It's
mean,
not designed.
it's a nice little, ooh, look at this. It's pretty cool, but if you think long term, it's not going to really work. And LOAs get lost, and that's an issue we have too. So
And I am on the Boston Authentics page right now. They have one of the Centennial jerseys left from
yeah,
Morgan Geeky, currently at 1,500. Their description talks about the whole jersey, the size. By the way, custom lettering by Custom Crafted. Some people commented on the set stamp. It says that, and people were surprised. They are still around. So
They've never stopped doing. I actually, on a different note, I've actually spoken to the guy from Custom Crafted recently, and they never stopped doing the Boston Bruins jersey numbering or lettering for the last 30 years.
wow.
Never stopped. Yeah.
And even on the page to buy the jersey gives all the jersey details: 6 games played, 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. His first goal is a Bruin at LA on 10/21/23.
That's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah,
well,
I do too. Absolutely.
it sounds like Boston. We were worried about the collectors, and probably more so the real Boston collectors. But it sounds like they're off on the right foot. They're giving you a lot of information. The price of there. I mean, it's a Centennial jersey for them, so you would expect the price to be a little bit higher than what you've probably seen in the
Sure.
past. But they're up on the website. You're getting a description. You're getting a website you can go to if you want to print off the certificate. You can do it. But it
Yeah,
sounds
they're
like
giving. Yeah, it
sounds
sounds
like
like
the
they're
guy
giving.
running it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, they're doing a premium. I mean, they're asking a premium price, but they're giving you a premium product in return with the box and the paper and the information. I mean,
Right.
that's
And
what
next
more
year
as a
when
collector can you ask for?
it's not a Centennial year, will prices dip a little bit, and they say, okay, this is not
Yeah.
a special jersey. So but I mean, we've seen teams take their jerseys and just
Yeah.
what the hell are you guys doing?
Well, clearly they priced them right if there's only one left. I think that's the the best way to say it is, if they had 30 of
Yeah.
them sitting there, then you'd go, hey, what are you guys doing? But if they've only got one, they obviously they hit a sweet spot for some people at least.
Right. And I mean, like I said, I didn't buy one. I didn't um, go after one. So hearing about this and seeing the comments online, and most of the people seem fairly happy what they're doing. And it was nice of Matt to post everything about the Shattenkirk and how they box it up, and it's a lot of good information.
And I
Beautiful
did go
jersey.
to the Boston Game Worn page to see what some other people are commenting in general. A couple people aren't happy on the set stamp, and it's probably more because you don't know exactly what number it's going to get initially. But then the because it's a set one on the far right side of the tag, and I just don't have it on my computer quick enough to pull it up. Is it's S1, and then the box is actually empty. They handwrite in the rest of the number. And some people are complaining about that.
Okay.
Not
The Ducks do the same thing. The Ducks handwrite their stuff in.
Yeah.
Ducks have been
I
doing
know
it for
some
years.
teams it's all set up ahead of time and they use whatever the numbers were set, or others, it's maybe completely blank. So there's a little bit of unhappiness there, and it's fine. Boston,
Well, you're not gonna please everybody.
well, no, and some people were concerned about prices and thinking some were high, some thought they were kind of okay. But again, there's one left out of Centennial, and everything else is moved. Some
Yeah,
of them
that
were.
tells the story.
I wish I had some of the breakdown of what the actual prices were, but new program being run by the team. But again, if these prices were out of line, the jerseys would have sat.
Yeah,
These are beautiful jerseys, and if people want the player or want, and some of these are showing good wear from pictures I've seen, they're gonna sell. That tells me
yeah.
that they're not out of line, or
No,
might be
absolutely. If they were out of line, they'd
could
be
be a
sitting
little
there.
high. Yeah, but if it was way out of line, they just sat.
Yep.
Yep.
So, congratulations all the people that picked those up. Like I said, most people. Marchant was at 4,000. That is one I did see reference. Some they said were either were posted or went so quick people didn't even see what they sold for. But that's just how their system is. I do like at least with the Blues Ringside Reserve page, when they sell, they usually sit on the site for a bit. When
Yeah.
they're sold out. So if you need to reference them in the last few days or whatever, you can do that. So again, they seem to be doing pretty well. I'm going to be reaching out to the head of the program just after the first year. He asked, they wanted to get through some stuff, and then asked me to reach back out once we got through the holidays, first of the year. So we will have him on at some point to discuss the program, how it's going, all that kind of stuff. I'm very excited for that interview. That should be a lot of good information. I'm excited that they're willing to come on. That
Absolutely.
in itself.
That's good.
Paul and I were talking earlier this week, and he sent me the pricing from the San Jose Sharks for he sent me their military ones. I haven't seen their cancer ones yet, but their military in a lot of cases, and maybe it's because they were playing for crap then, but I'm a little surprised, sold low. I'm going through some of these. A good portion sold at minimum of 300.
Well, were they worn or were they just sold as issue?
They're all sold as issue.
Yeah.
They're gonna take a hit on that stuff.
Yep. Logan Couture, 475. Granlund, 420. Eklund, 575. Trying to find Hurdles, 550. Trying to find Hoffman, who's been playing well, former Blue for 10 minutes, 465. Vlasic, 425. Declare, 400.
I mean, if they're not on the ice, then that's just gonna shrink the who wants them.
And I'll go. I have the Blues military ones up here now, and I will say the Sharks were very plain. It was the standard green, like it was the logo looked like it was spray painted on. I think they used those last year before also. Numbers were a camouflage number, kind of plain. The Blues, on the other hand, the numbers were a stars and stripes, had different jerseys, had different military branches on one shoulder, and then they had the St. Louis Blues Warriors patch on the other. And on ours, Buchnevich 1200, Blay 950, Falk 1225, Pareko 850, and this is again in the middle of this. The Blues were playing like crap too. Kapanen 1,000. Who else have we got in here? That was.
I pulled up the Blues Hockey Fights Cancer ones from this year. So
go ahead and rattle through some of those.
Geez, I mean, some of the one thing I did notice is they had some of like the previous season ones, like they had a Gunnarsson, a Sundqvist, a Walker, a Megan, and those all. It was kind of funny the prices on those. Like the Walker from a couple years ago was $750, the Sundqvist $900, the Gunnarsson $725, the Megan $505. As far as the regular ones go, they kind of bottomed out right at $500. Scandalo 525. Rosen was a previous season for 500. Shen for 1,000. Perunovic 550. Neighbors 1,000. Bennington 1,500. Buchnevich 1,025. I know we do jerseys here a lot. I was kind of crazy. The Bennington stick went for $1,400. They had some old O'Reilly sticks that went for like $375 to $450. So I thought that was interesting.
At least the
Price
sticks are
wise.
being used in warm-ups.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I was getting at. It seems like the stick prices were up probably because they're actually hitting the ice.
And the Blues did sell their set ones already, and those prices, other than a few, like the big, like Braden Shen, Bennington,
The Hofer went high.
yeah, and Hofer, try to see where he was at here, 1705. There was a good portion that were 350, 320. And again, the Blues are playing horrible, but
Yeah,
the prices are overall down compared to
last year even.
and what I would expect. So
Yeah. There's
it's
some value
kind
buys
of
there.
look around the league a little bit, and I need to touch base with Paul more. Maybe I'll bring it up in the next episode. Some of what else they've seen, but
Yeah.
but it's interesting to follow. I was trying to find because I also have access to the Ducks auctions, but they don't list theirs. Or at least I haven't seen any with the military ones because I was
I don't think I've seen
curious to
those
see what
either
the
because I
Ducks.
follow the Ducks ones too. I do the Kings as well and a couple other ones.
But it's again, some teams I've looked at as I've seen on occasions or people share, the prices seem 500 to 700. So
Yeah.
I mean the teams are still making money, but it's down. It's definitely down because we've seen people wear them like pictures around the rink. Sometimes the teams are posting them that way. I was at the Hockey Fights Cancer game, and they showed players walking through the hallways. They had the Hockey Fights Cancer T-shirts on. They weren't wearing I don't. So they it appears to me in their case, none of them ever put them on for any reason.
Put 'em on. Yeah.
So
I think they signed. Did they sign these?
yes,
Yeah. So I mean, besides touching it to sign it, the guys never wore them.
right. And each
Yeah.
team's doing a little bit different with them.
Yeah.
But that's at least
It's still a great program. I'm still glad that they're supporting a lot of these programs with the jerseys. I think that ultimately it's, again, we've had a lot of discussions about it, but ultimately they're still supporting, Hockey Fights Cancer. They're still supporting the military, programs. And that's what matters most, I mean, at the end of the day, like the support from the league is what I care about more than anything else.
right. And we may see things change again down the road, but
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what they're going to do.
right. The league sometimes goes with what the wind blows for sure.
They should just let the teams deal with it.
Right. Don't I wish. So the other one, as I said before, tease it a little bit. I kind of wish I had some sexy music or something because now we're gonna get wet and wild, boys. It sounds wholly inappropriate, but when I saw this post, I just started cracking up because a bunch of us have been through it years ago. Wade, I believe you had at least one of them. I did not buy any at the time just because the pricing was so high. But back in 2016, 2016, the Blues played the Blackhawks in Winter Classic in St. Louis. They
Yeah.
wore beautiful Reebok jerseys. The numbers and the logo was felt. And the set one, I think they were warm-ups or set ones. I don't remember which one were.
I think it was period one.
Okay. Were packaged up, sent to Fanatics in Florida, and Fanatics turned around and sold them to whoever bought them. And when they got a bunch of them, they had mold stains all over them. Why? Yeah. Because they were never dried and never washed.
Yeah. The story I've heard on that goes that I guess the Fanatics reps that were there basically like players came off the ice, they swapped jerseys, they threw them in garbage bags, and then somehow sat and then eventually got shipped to Florida to be processed. And in that interim, all acquired mold. I know I personally, I remember the one I remember best off my top of my head was the Ryan Reeves. Like the whole back of it thing was basically like covered in this like tannish brown mold. And I know it was offered to me at one point, and I was like, dude, it's a great jersey, but I'm like, I just didn't really know if I wanted a stinky, moldy jersey.
And a lot of people did get those cleaned up. They found ways to clean up those felt numbers, and you wouldn't know it now that it was even happened.
Yeah.
Right.
On the Minnesota Wild game worn page from the Global Series, so it stank around the world. One person got the Kaprizov. Read her post. Jennifer Slaughter says, been chuckling about the Global Series posts as our Kaprizov arrived absolutely stinking and straight to the wash. Fanatics hologram wasn't even stuck on a jersey fight strap due to the moisture content, so it didn't really hesitate with the laundry route. Seemed to be sticking fine after a post-wash reapplication. Said the jersey was very easy to photo match. Some of the other ones.
We had a local collector who got a couple of them, and he had reached out to me and said, like, hey, what do you do in this situation? And I gave him my tips and what I've done in the past when I've had stinky acquisitions.
And we'll talk about that here in a minute. So we got the maroon Corey Fry. Yep, was he the one that reached out to you?
Yeah. Corey's a great guy, great collector.
Got a Pat Maroon received today. Smells so bad I couldn't bring it in the house. But the love this Tarasenko Centers jersey smells clean. And so it was team to team and maybe the
sends through them through the wash. Yeah.
Right. So you had and on Minnesota there was no set stamp of any kind. Ottawa had a set stamp in there.
Wow.
Minnesota did not.
Wow, that's wild.
Just a Fanatic sticker. Thomas Maddox got my Broden not washed and smelly. No stitched on label at all, just a little sticker. Very disappointed in that part. Otherwise, it's his new favorite jersey. Question for Fanatics: with them not being washed, only a little sticker inside. How do I clean this? And that actually, one person, Derek Cook, in the comments on that. And again, this is on the Minnesota Wild game worn jersey page. I follow most. I think like all of us do, follow all the pages.
Pretty much, yeah.
So this person said, wash it and wrap the label in saran wrap is what I do. And kind of an interesting thought, good way to do it. And Derek actually said is mostly joking, but I'm going to hand wash the elbows and armpits and then steam it. So if somebody else said freeze it, and I've heard that a few times before.
I've heard that to kill the mold, yeah.
And part of it too is remember, teams take all of these after a game and chuck them in the wash together, and I guarantee they're not on a general cycle, and the wear's not coming off and that kind of things. I understand with the Fanatics sticker, because in the case of the Wild, that's all you got. At least the other teams had some set stamps in it. People gave several different options. Somebody else said their sticker and the fight strap had fallen off when they got it. A lot of people are complaining about the shape of these jerseys, but
the bad part about those, the ones that only have the Fanatics sticker and then no discernible step tag, is Jesus stick. Like we've talked about in the past, the stickers fall off. I mean,
right.
For them to have done nothing to those, it's a little scary that somebody didn't, proactively mark them. We've talked in the past about different equipment options that go to one of the, like,
get a regular rubber type stamp and
go to Office Depot. Yeah, do something.
Right. Another one that I had seen before and missed part of his comment, Eric Roscoe. Bogosian has arrived bringing surprises and smells. Biggest surprise is it is not a prime green jersey. Crazy to see these still being used. Either way, I'm thrilled to have it in my collection. That's interesting. I wonder why the Wild would have had non-prime green jerseys.
The only thing I can think of on that was, if you remember correctly, the Blues, the 1 year, or I guess it was the retro jersey. They used the retro jersey, or actually no, it was the year that we went to the year we went to the Winter Classic. those are not prime green jerseys. And that
that's
was
right.
the
And
first year of
actually,
the prizes because they were left over from the previous year. They didn't
that's
do it
right.
the year before. So
And
Right.
actually,
that was
I'll make a comment because I just looked at another one. David Regan had a post for his because he got Erickson Eck. His neck has a prime green logo in it, so it's a mix,
really
Well,
that's
which
cool.
is
maybe
odd as hell.
maybe
Yeah,
Bogosian
that's
doesn't like the prime green jersey.
But I don't think
Yeah.
the players get a choice,
Now, how would they have gotten that stitched up, or where would the material? That's really odd. That's
right?
really
Because
odd.
there's another Brock Faber, Lucas Brody. His shows the
Yeah.
neck prime green logo. I'm trying to see if there's any other.
That's really weird.
Global Series ones that I can see the neck in. But yeah, that's weird to have a mix of that. His,
Yeah,
I
that's
I wonder
mean,
definitely.
if his is a one-off for some weird ass
could
reason.
have been a mistake when they grabbed it. Could have been a mistake. Could have been player
Tagged incorrectly.
preference. I mean, there's a few things in there that could have
Yep,
happened.
because the
Why it
Broden,
was,
I see it. The Zuccarello, I see it.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. You're right. It doesn't
Rizov.
have it.
I mean, because it's not like even the picture that he has of the neck, the way the jersey's cut, you'd still see that globe, and he doesn't have it. So that's weird. I wonder if his is the only one.
Yeah, and the other ones don't. And like the other ones, if you look at the hem, they've got the
Oh, the little
prime
flag.
green.
Yep.
Yeah, the little real. Yes, that and his doesn't. That's really wild.
I'll be curious, and any other. Feel free to any wild collectors or anybody else that got these. If yours doesn't have that too, I'd love to hear about it because it's just such an oddball thing. But again, maybe like you said, is somehow in the pile. But I thought that global design was. I guess it isn't specific to that game.
It is or is not.
Is not. I guess that is a regular style jersey. I'm not used to looking at the one.
Yeah, then I got that might have just been a leftover one from the pile. Whenever that, who knows?
And we've seen weird stuff happen across
Yeah,
teams, not just
yeah.
the Wild. So
yeah, that's pretty crazy though.
so interesting. But that's out of all the teams that played, as far as I've seen posts on anyway, the Wild are the only ones that didn't get washed. At least, and if any other people got teams, because it sounds like Ottawa was fine. But if anybody else got teams that were stinky, let us know. I'm curious to hear what teams did what. But at least other than smelling nasty, it doesn't look like, especially with that material, that there's any mold or things like that in there.
Mildew, yeah. That's good.
And
Yeah, that's good.
Paul also was telling me, and I got to get back to our notes from several days ago, said the Wings ended up being worn the whole game of the Global Series. They were supposed to change at the first intermission, but something happened in that there wasn't either enough patches or something else. So the Wings did not wear two sets of jerseys.
Really?
So I know, and
Wow.
unclear. We've not been able to, and if anybody out there knows, Red Wings collector or otherwise, knows what that reasoning was, or if they decided to hell with it, they're only going to wear one set, let me know. I'd love to share that out. So kind of an interesting thing. Trying to think of anything else major going on in the hobby. I mean, a lot of people are moving and buying and selling before Christmas, and if odds are, if you're shipping stuff tomorrow, it ain't getting there before Christmas Day, folks. Sorry.
I think the migrate sale ended today. So
Yeah, the puck sale.
no, they're just their Christmas,
Their
their
holiday sale.
their holiday sale. I think it ended today.
Yeah, I got a thing on that. I think that like one of
Actually
the
ends
first,
Friday
but
evening, tomorrow night.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
does it?
tomorrow night. Okay, tomorrow night.
I know. There's a Bedard puck in one of the auctions. I've been talking to a few people about, which we thought was pretty interesting. That I'm gonna look at this.
Who's
Yeah, the
running
goal
that
pucks
auction?
end.
Is it Migrate?
What's that?
Migrate's running the auction.
Yeah, there's a lot one is the Connor Bedard Blackhawks goal puck November 22nd versus the Blue Jackets. The puck it closed. That one's closed. That was at $3,600. It sold for.
Wow.
Which is actually kind of low because I'm actually looking like right next to it. Lot 2 is a Malkin and it sold for $600. Lot 3 is a Crosby, sold for $2,500. So I mean,
And then another
I guess
Crosby Penguins at Caps sold for $25.90.
Yeah, Connor McDavid for $12.30. So I mean, I get that's kind of interesting that the puck. It's a puck, but I mean here, I
I
guess
gotta
that's
laugh.
probably
Patrick
first
Laine
couple goals.
puck started at $50, got one bid and closed at $50.
No, I just thought that was interesting. I thought I'd bring
Oh
that
yeah.
up. 'Cause I thought it was
No, any
interesting.
Bedard related stuff, it's interesting to see what it's doing and where it's going.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what a jersey. I think that's just going to end up being like absolutely wild the first time we
Well,
see a jersey
and to
auction.
my knowledge, nobody knows how many he's wearing. I'm hoping
No.
they keep solid track of that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure that kid's wearing a boatload of jerseys.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to figure, especially those first couple games, first goal, the first jerseys. Anytime he's probably does something as a first, they're probably tearing that thing off of him.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, here we found that out pretty quick with Eric Johnson stuff that showed up from the
Yeah.
Blues from years ago. I mean, it's a totally different animal, but kid was a first pick, and we've obviously in the last year seen a lot of those things pop up because I think they thought he was going to be unbelievable. He's a first pick, so his first everything, they were probably tearing a jersey off that kid even back then.
Oh
Yeah.
Excuse me. Been a long day. It's actually I'm now off till the 8th of January. So
Oh, nice.
Nice. But winding down today was crazy. But yeah, it's that kind of stuff just going to be insane. That's all the big things that I wanted to cover tonight. Have you guys got anything particular or stuff you've seen in the hobby, oddball stuff, whatever?
Happy to see you get your Mike McKenna jersey out of the gray flannel auction.
Yeah, thank you. So,
Congratulations.
somebody else went in and bid in on it in the last day. I was a little surprised about, but
Well, it wasn't me.
No, I figured, and I bid it back up to where I was comfortable and happy, and should have it any time now. And yeah, it looked like there were some good deals to be had overall in that auction.
Sure.
I know Game Worn Auctions is going on right now.
Yeah, they're a little light again.
I noticed that, and it's maybe just because it's the winter one, and people want to say what's going on out there.
Yeah, it's just a little light again,
Yeah.
And no disrespect by any means, please.
No, it doesn't seem like there's the quantity of jerseys that you've seen in the past. So
No, yeah, it just doesn't seem like they have as much stuff kind of popping up as they have in the past.
And maybe the bidding will go up a little bit more once you get into get post Christmas. People get Christmas money. You got 12 days,
Sure.
1 hour and 10 minutes to go. In the modern Game Worn jerseys, most expensive right now, it looks like, is the Pavel Datsyuk second team All-Star. Just doesn't say what set. But
no, I mean
$3,933 right now.
I saw the Classic has released for their February auction that they have a photo match Gordie Howe jersey going to be in that auction. So
yeah, a lot of people are blown away over that one. That thing's beautiful.
That's going to be incredible.
Yeah. That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge dollar jersey. That's going to be fun, really fun to see what happens there.
Yeah.
And Dan, you got anything before we wrap up? And we'll most likely
it seems
people
slow.
are available. We'll do another show next week, so we'll touch one before do a year-end wrap-up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see if people post their sales for my gray, but it seems slow. I mean, the Boston one's kind of the big news, what they were doing, and the Global Series, but the pages are kind of slow. I think people are, with the holidays, people are just, they're hunkering down.
Yeah.
Probably tough out there, maybe somebody's saving for an expo or something like that, So
yeah.
No, I think it's the end of the year. I mean, I think we've seen a lot of upswing in some, private, I don't want to say the word dealer, but private collectors / dealers who are processing jerseys and putting stuff out there. So I think that's interesting.
I think we have 3 collections out there because of people that have passed on. People are trying to sell their collections.
Yeah,
I think there's 3 out there now. So the market got flooded with a bunch of jerseys.
Yeah,
and
I think that
could affect a lot of different things, and it's unfortunate someone passed away, but that's
A
what
lot
had
of
to
new
happen.
stuff. New stuff has populated the hobby in the last
Right.
6 months or so. That has been,
And I just,
stuff that hasn't been seen in a long time. So I think that's an interesting part of what's going on too. And I also think that as we've seen some increase in pricing, I definitely think I've noticed an uptick of for sale items. I think that's the one thing that I'm taking out of 2023 is seems like values are up, and that's meant that a lot of stuff that has popped up is definitely at a higher price than we maybe had seen in the past, and the stuff's selling, so it's really a weird market right now in that sense. And I think that's
yeah,
I think that's going to be fun to watch in 2024. If we're talking about a closeout of the year kind of video here, I think that 2024 looks to be pretty interesting with pricing and stuff that's out there, and then the Fanatics thing at the end of the year. So I'm excited to see what 2024 has to bring for us collectors and for our hobby.
And right, and we've got with the change next year into the other jerseys, we've got the coverage of the equipment sales. Once we get into those, will be phenomenal.
yeah. I think the
Yeah.
equipment
For some
sales.
of that stuff.
I think
I'm
the
wearing a
equipment sales.
headset. I'm going live. I'm gonna I'm getting a headset. I'm gonna with the like one of those like police body cam things.
Yep.
But I'm going live
Get you a
this year.
GoPro. You can
Yeah.
Yes. So
I
it's gonna
think.
get really weird, but that's what we're doing. Doc's coming with me. Uh,
Yeah, I think
that's
it's
the
gonna
game
be
plan
crazy
for the
this
Blues.
summer.
Yeah.
I think for all the teams, it's going to be a little crazy in the summertime because you have to blow out all that Adidas stuff.
Oh my God, yeah, it's gonna be really, really interesting to see what that looks like, because there's gonna be a changing of the guard, and for anybody that
Yeah.
was around whenever the Reebok stuff went away, it was pretty wild. So I think it's gonna be again pretty interesting to see what all rolls out.
I've had so many people looking at trying to buy practice jerseys or things now for whatever reason. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, just stop.
Mhm.
I said, if you
Whoa.
can be patient about 6 months,
Yeah,
you'll be fine. So,
absolutely.
gentlemen, on that note, another show in the books. Hopefully, Paul enjoyed the I think it was the Sharks game tonight, or Barracuda Light, because the Barracudas seem to be doing better. The Blues actually figured out how to win a game. They won 4-1 against Florida tonight. Thank God, because I didn't. After we got smoked by Tampa the other night, I wanted to at least get another win in there. So.
Absolutely.
So, gentlemen, you all have a Merry Christmas. All the listeners out there, Merry Christmas
Merry
to you as
Christmas,
well,
everybody.
and
Absolutely.
enjoy the holiday. And we'll see you back next week.
All right, man. You guys, everybody, take care.
Good night, everybody.